That day it rained. A light, early-season drizzle, just enough to wet the porch steps, but not enough to make anyone open an umbrella. I still remember the suffocating tension in the meeting room, the constant tapping on the table, the strained eyes locking across the table, as if we were all fighting over the last contract of the year. Amidst the raised voices, my phone buzzed in my coat pocket. It was Mom. Her name lit up on the screen. Mom. One buzz, then two. For a brief moment, I reached for my phone. But then, I hesitated. I glanced at my boss's frown, at a colleague watching me, probably waiting for their turn to argue. Quickly, I hit decline. I'll call back later, I told myself. Later, that word I'd used 1,000 times in my life. But this time, I never got the chance. The meeting dragged on for 1 hour and 47 minutes. I stepped out, my head spinning. Instinctively, I checked my phone. 5 missed calls. 2 from Mom. 3 from the home phone. My heart sank. A chilling instinct crept up my neck, like the first cold breeze of winter slipping through a collar. I called Mom back. No answer. Tried the house line. Again and again. Finally, my uncle picked up. Hey, Uncle. Is something wrong? His voice was hoarse. Come home, now. I pressed, what's going on? Is Mom okay? Silence, then a broken whisper. Your mom? She's gone. It felt like someone reached into my chest and crushed my heart in their fist. My throat closed up. I froze in the hallway of the office as the world went completely silent. Everything slipped away. On the ride back home, I couldn't stop calling Mom's number. A habit I hadn't yet accepted was now hopeless. The phone still rang, but no one would ever pick up again. Her phone still lay on the nightstand, next to the pillow where she rested her head each night, but Mom was gone. When I got home, the house was full of relatives, full of people, but missing the one warmth that made it feel like home. She was lying there, peaceful, like she was just sleeping. But I knew she wouldn't wake up again. No final words, no last hug, not even one last my child. In that moment, I wanted to scream, Mom, I'm sorry. I should have answered. If only I had picked up, but every if only had come too late. They say the greatest loss isn't when someone dies, but when you're forced to keep living without them. I can't clearly remember the first 3 days after the funeral. Everything was a blur, like a movie played in slow motion. The sound turned down, emotions pushed to some faraway place. All I remember is the chanting echoing through the night, the quiet sniffles of relatives wiping away tears, and my uncle's red, swollen eyes each time he looked toward her altar. But what I'll never forget was her face in the casket. Peaceful but cold. I never imagined that the first time I'd touch her and feel cold would also be the last. That evening, I sat alone in front of her altar. The room was quiet. Incense still burned, smoke curling into the still air. I stared at her photo. She was smiling. That same smile she always used to calm me. When I got a bad grade, when I had my heart broken, when I was sick in the city, and all she could do was ask over the phone, "Did you take your medicine, honey?" For the first time, I spoke to her, without hearing anything back. I'm sorry for not picking up. Just a few minutes, Mom. I only needed a few more minutes to hear your voice. My voice cracked. Do you know how much I miss you? Since that day, I've been haunted by the sound of a ringing phone. Whenever the house number shows up or I get a call late at night, my spine chills. Each night I toss and turn with memories of her. I remember the rainy afternoons when she waited for me at the school gate. Umbrella in hand, her voice from the kitchen. Come eat, sweetie. Even her scolding when I skipped meals because I flunked a test. I remember the little things. Her favorite floral blouse. The shuffling sound of her slippers in the morning. How she tied her hair low at the nape of her neck. Her smile when I came home to visit. All those tiny, ordinary things have become irreplaceable treasures. One day, I opened Mom's old phone. There were over 200 photos in it. Most of them were of me. Graduation pictures, me eating fried chicken, me napping at my desk. Even photos of me with high school friends. How she had those, I'll never know. There was one audio file, 5 seconds long, just her voice. Make sure to stay warm, honey. It's cold over there. I played it on repeat, at least 50 times. That night, I cried until I passed out. After the funeral, I returned to the city. Life carried on. Cars still moved. Deadlines still loomed. Emails still flooded in as if nothing had happened. But inside me, something had died. Each morning, I woke up to a phone with no message. Are you awake yet? At lunch, no text asking. What did you eat today? At night, the sky felt darker than usual. Not because of the sunset, but because of the emptiness inside me. Friends invited me out for coffee, dinner, a movie. I said no to everything. Not because I was busy, but because nothing felt fun anymore. Sometimes someone would ask, "Are you okay?" I'd just smile. I'm fine. But how could I explain the grief of someone who once thought, family will always be there? Until one part of it was gone forever, the memories keep replaying. So vivid, they feel like they happened just yesterday. The last meal I had with Mom, it was a simple home-cooked dinner. Fish, mashed potatoes, grilled beef, her signature dish because she knew I loved it. During dinner, she kept saying, "Next time you come home, I'll make pizza, okay?" I replied half-heartedly, "Next time I'll take you to a fancy restaurant instead." She laughed. "As long as you eat, I'm happy." The next day, I went back to the city. She packed me a bag full of snacks, Cookies, chocolates, a few apples. I groaned. Seriously, Mom? There's plenty of food in New York. She just smiled, handed me the bag, and said, But they don't have food I made. Now I get it. What she packed wasn't food. It was love. It was her way of staying with me, so I'd always feel her warmth, even when far from home. But that was the last time. There would be no next time. A week after she passed, I returned home to help my uncle clean her room. Everything was still there. The old floral blanket, her coat hanging on the wardrobe door, the rattan chair she always sat in to prepare vegetables each afternoon. I sat and stared at that little corner of the room. Small, yet filled with a lifetime of memories. My cousin said, Check the notebooks on the desk. Keep what you want. I'll handle the rest. I nodded. I opened each notebook, hoping to find something of hers. A line, a note, an unfinished story. Then I saw it. A small worn notebook. The first page read, To my child, on the day you left for school. I froze. My hands trembled as I turned the pages. It was her handwriting. Neat, round, slightly tilted to the right. Just like her, gentle and soft-spoken. She had written, line by line, Today you left for the city to study. I saw you off and tears kept falling. I didn't cry in front of you. I didn't want you to think I was weak. But inside I was a mess. I'm scared you'll get sick. Scared you won't eat well, won't sleep enough. Scared that something will happen and I won't be there to help you. Each line cut deeper than the last. I didn't go to college, so I can't help you with big things. But if you're ever tired, just call me so I can hear your voice. Even one phone call is enough to put my heart at ease. I stopped at that line. Even one phone call. And I didn't answer. The pages that followed were scattered notes. Reminders. Remember to pay the dorm rent next month. Diary entries. You called today. You sounded tired. I worried all night. And then, a page with no date. Just a few lines. If one day I'm no longer here, please remember, I lived my whole life loving you. That's where the journal stopped. The ink was smudged. I don't know if it was from her tears. Or mine. That night I sat by her altar, notebook in hand, empty inside but also somehow full. Mom had thought about me long before I ever thought about her. She knew someday she'd leave, but she wanted to leave me something, even if it was just a few pages, even if the words were left unfinished. I looked up at her photo and whispered, I hear you now, Mom. I know, you always loved me, and I love you too. So much. That night, for the first time in forever, I finally slept soundly.